Hello, I'm Mr. Pacitti, and this is my classroom right here in Manchester, New Hampshire. So, put away your mobile phones, put away your Wrestle Talk magazines. It's time to concentrate, it's time to study. This is SmackDown Live, and this is Graded. Kicking things off with Miz TV, and the Miz hypes Miz and Mrs., which he's definitely going to win an Emmy for. His guests tonight are Team Hell No, and the Miz asks them, are you ready to face the Bludgeon Brothers at Extreme Rules for the SmackDown Tag titles? Kane says that they are ready for the Bludgeon Brothers. His words, not mine. And then we see a video package prepared by The Miz for Team Hell No. So this video shows the negatives of Team Hell No's partnership over the years. Kane trying to abduct Brie Bella. Kane choke slamming Daniel Bryan on the outside on the ring steps. A nice bit of continuity. The Miz, it seemed like he was especially trying to get to Daniel Bryan, continuing to hype that feud that we really desperately do want to see. I don't think any of us were expecting to see Team Hell No come back. We all thought we were going to get Bryan versus The Miz sooner rather than later, but Team Hell No, enjoyable stuff. Anyway, things get very, very hot. It looks like The Miz is about to be chokeslammed by Kane, but no, they are interrupted by the Bludgeon Brothers, and then they are interrupted by SAnitY. SAnitY attack Daniel Bryan in the ring while Kane is taken out on the outside by the Bludgeon Brothers, but no, the New Day's music hits, out come the New Day, but they are soon overpowered by the bigger men. There's only one man that can put a stop to things. His name's Finlay, he loves to fight, and Finlay and the WWE personnel just about manage to calm things down. Enjoyed this opener, which I'm giving a B- to. I think some of the earlier dialogue in the promo was a little bit weak, but overall pretty good stuff. I think more importantly, it's made the Bludgeon Brothers versus Team Hell No at Extreme Rules a little bit unpredictable. Like, in my mind, the Bludgeon Brothers were 100% dropping the titles to Team Hell No on Sunday, but after last night, is there a possible partnership between SAnitY and the Bludgeon Brothers? I'm not sure. Has it made it more unpredictable? Am I reading too much into things? Was this just done to throw together a 10-man tag later in the night? Probably, yeah. Never mind. Next up, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles, and I'll say immediately that when this was announced, not a fan. Not because they've wrestled before, but because they've had such a long feud that only ended recently. It was punctuated so well with a last man standing match. Like, I don't think we should see these two facing off in a ring this soon after that. The last man standing match, that should be it. More confusing is that commentary were hyping this as a WrestleMania rematch. WrestleMania rematch. WrestleMania rematch, Greatest Royal Rumble rematch, Backlash rematch, random episode of SmackDown rematch, Money in the Bank rematch. I'm not even going to mention New Japan. I will say that Rusev was fantastic on commentary last night. He's already told his mum that he's won the match. He's got 4 escapes for the calf crusher, and he came out on a freaking tank, Byron. He was great, and the match was pretty good too. They ended up scrapping on the outside, and then AJ Styles lays out Aiden English, and then Aiden English takes a Kinshasa to the face. They roll back in. AJ is setting up for the phenomenal forearm, but Rusev pulls him off, ending the match in a DQ. Sort of as expected. A little bit predictable. Why else would Rusev be out there? But it was good. So after the match, Rusev grabs AJ Styles and locks him in a sort of accolade position. It looks like Shinsuke Nakamura is about to take AJ's head off too, but nope, the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy comes running to the ring, and then shortly after, out comes SmackDown Live General Manager Paige, who channels her inner Teddy Long. Holla, holla, holla. It's a tag team match now, player. And when's that happening? Right now. I guess I should give a grade to the singles match because it was technically a match. You can have a C- for that, AJ, Shinsuke. Well done. Tag match was good too. Signature moves aplenty. The finish came when Jeff set up for the Swanton Bomb, but was pushed off and got a match kick to his face. I'm going to give this one a B. It was a quick match, but it was pretty fun, and I actually quite like what they did here. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of things just, you've got 2 different feuds, and so you do a tag team match to get both of those feuds on TV on the Go Home show before the pay-per-view. But, it's SmackDown. We're not Raw. We don't have 3 hours to piss about with, so keep it snappy. Yeah, this one is a B from me. You've hyped the US title match. You've hyped the WWE title match. It's done its job. It served its purpose. It was a fine match. B. There you go. Arms. Backstage now, and James Ellsworth is training for his rematch with Asuka. It is the Battle of the Sexes 2. The sequel's never as good, right? Anyway, James Ellsworth reassures Carmella that he will not let her down. James Ellsworth comes to the ring and he cuts a quick promo. He says that all of the lumberjacks, the female lumberjacks at ringside, must be pretty tempted by this body, but don't try to kiss him on these lips. Like, what does that mean? Does James Ellsworth have 2 sets of lips? Like, I don't understand that line at all. Anyway, Carmella has absolutely no heat at all, by the way, at this point. The crowd is completely dead. Not even James Ellsworth has been able to get her the heat that I think she sort of deserves. No reaction at all. So the match starts and James Ellsworth gets beaten up a little bit by Asuka. He then rolls out and gets pushed back in, and then he gets thrown out and gets beaten up a little bit, and then he comes back in, out, and out. Shake it all about. You know what a lumberjack match looks like. Anyway, the lumberjacks can't seem to hold it together and they start scrapping. Jesus. And then Asuka thankfully takes them all out with a big crossbody, gets back in the ring and thankfully makes James Ellsworth tap out quite quickly. Giving this match a D+ because it wasn't very good at all. I think the only thing that was really interesting about this is what happened after the match. So Carmella, Asuka, Ellsworth in the ring. Ellsworth sprays Asuka in the face with something. I'm not sure if it was meant to be mace. I'm not sure if it was meant to be hairspray. Whatever it was, I don't think it's the last we've seen of this little spray canister. I think that's going to be incorporated into their match at Extreme Rules on Sunday. To me, the obvious match and the obvious way to get the title off Carmella when that happens is Becky Lynch. She's super hot right now. She's getting huge crowd reactions. People are really, really behind her. I think that's the match for SummerSlam, and this spray canister, if and when it's used, will sort of protect Asuka a little bit. It means that Carmella will actually be able to pick up a cheap win, which is the sort of win that she should be having. I guess shades of Kevin Nash and Goldberg with the taser in WCW, except that Asuka's streak is already over. Oh. Quick backstage promo with the New Day and Team Hell No. More NSYNC references there for some reason. And then another quick backstage promo with James Ellsworth and SmackDown Live General Manager Paige. And Ellsworth, like the little pest that he is, tries to kiss Paige, but Paige goes, "No, you need to be higher." Didn't really understand that. It was just an awkward line to set up the fact that James Ellsworth will be in a shark cage at Extreme Rules. He will be suspended over the ring during the Carmella Asuka SmackDown Women's title match. And there you go. There's your finish. He's dropping the spray. Carmella's picking it up, spraying Asuka, picking up the win. That's how it's going to happen. Has a shark cage ever stopped interference in the history of wrestling ever? Next up, Sin Cara versus Andrade, Cien, Almas. And finally, Almas is competing on the weekly wrestling show that he's booked on. Thank the Lord. Like, he's been doing nothing, really, since his debut. I know the Sin Cara being injured thing has put a dampener on things, but he should have been featured more prominently on TV up until this point. Anyway, this match was terrific. Really great, fast-paced, competitive, and entertaining throughout. I was actually lucky enough to see Sin Cara versus Andrade, Cien, Almas on a SmackDown house show, like maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, and this was a card that also had on it Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. That's the match that I should have been talking about when I left the arena, but it wasn't. Andrade, Cien, Almas versus Sin Cara was the match of the night. They have such terrific chemistry, and this match was, I hope, just a taster of what's to come, not just from Almas, but from an Almas-Sin Cara feud. Like, I want to see more of this. They only went for like 5 minutes. In fact, can we just scrap Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley at Extreme Rules and have these two go 20 minutes? Because they'll put on a hell of a show. Please, Vince. Please? It pains me to do this, but I can only really give this one a B. It was just too short. That no-handed springboard crossbody was a thing of beauty. Andrade, Cien, Almas being every bit the vicious bastard that he should be. And Sin Cara let him do more lucha things and he will get over too. This was match of the night, and it was 5 minutes long. It is now time for the main event, the Bludgeon Brothers teaming with SAnitY to take on Team Hell No and the New Day, and I'm actually loving the state of the SmackDown Live tag title scene at the moment. Like, for the past 2 weeks now, the tag titles have been the focal point of the show, and yet it could easily be argued, and perhaps rightfully so, that AJ Rusev should be the focal point, but you cannot deny that this feud has made the SmackDown Live tag titles feel really big, feel really important. So I'm actually not anti this match going on last. I think it was a good main event. Things get hectic from the start with a big old brawl followed by a fairly typical, if there is such a thing, 10-man tag team match. Towards the end, it was spamming of signature moves. Big E hitting that insane spear to Killian Dane, no less, through the ropes. It was terrifying to watch. I worry about you, Big E. I really worry about you sometimes. Anyway, Daniel Bryan picks up the win with the knee and in the process picks up a B from me. Well done, Danny boy. Anyway, enough about the match. There's something to discuss here. The biggest return of the year happened last night on SmackDown Live. So after the match, Daniel Bryan and Kane walk up the ramp. Kane starts doing the yes thing, starts pointing up like that. Daniel Bryan comes around, steps in front of him and does Kane's like arms up. Nothing happens, of course, it's 2018. He went, whoa, wait a second. Does it again. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. He does it one more time. Give him one more chance. Sweet baby Jesus and the orphans. Pyro! Pyro is back! Yes! You know what? You've got $1 billion coming, Vince McMahon. Please keep Pyro around. It makes everything feel bigger, it adds character to certain superstars, and perhaps most importantly, if you're in the arena, it smells bloody lovely. Am I the only one that thinks that? Let me know in the comments. Overall, this SmackDown gets a B+ from me. Maybe I'm just being generous because I'm very excited about indoor fireworks, but it was a good show. Almas versus Sin Cara was terrific. The 10-man tag match at the end was good. AJ versus Nakamura / the tag match was also really strong. The Battle of the Sexes too. Not so much. But overall, a strong show heading into the most extreme of the pay-per-views, Extreme Rules on Sunday, where there is one Extreme Rules match, one cage match, and one tables match. And that's on the pre-show. Brilliant. Bye. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and you can follow me on Twitter here. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.